The atmosphere at Incheon Airport shifted in a way that only one person in the world could cause. It was subtle at first, just a flicker of movement, a tightening of whispers, an uncertain ripple of curiosity traveling through the crowd like an invisible wave. But within seconds, the quiet murmur escalated into a phenomenon. Cameras lifted. Heads turned. Gasps echoed. And before anyone fully realized what was happening, all attention converged on a single figure cloaked in black, a hood pulled low, a mask concealing almost the entire face, and a steady, intentional stride. It was the kind of entrance that didn't need an announcement. Because even with almost every identifiable feature hidden, the aura was unmistakable. Jungkook had returned from Paris. And Incheon Airport erupted. But why Paris? Why now? And why in such an unannounced, secretive way? These questions, and thousands more, immediately consumed every army online and offline. What was supposed to be an ordinary day at one of Korea's busiest airports instantly transformed into a scene straight out of a blockbuster, complete with stunned onlookers, frantic fans scrambling for their phones, and a star who seemed determined to move like a shadow despite the spotlight trailing him everywhere. The first sighting came from a fan who wasn't even expecting to see a celebrity that day. She had been waiting for her relative's flight when she noticed a cluster of airport staff becoming suddenly alert. Their eyes darted, their movements sharpened, and that alone was enough for her instincts to activate. She turned her head, and that's when she saw the silhouette, tall, calm, wrapped in a black hoodie and leather jacket, walking with the confidence of someone who had seen the entire world, and still preferred silence. Before she even pressed record, she knew who it was. Within seconds, her video spread across social media like wildfire. There he was, Jungkook, the global superstar, the face of a generation, arriving home from an international trip with no prior announcement, no press release, no warning whatsoever. His appearance was unpublicized, unexpected, and entirely explosive. The internet didn't stand a chance. Posts flooded in. Tweets multiplied. Forums imploded. Live streams began spontaneously as fans tried to dissect every detail from his outfit to his demeanor to the timing of his arrival. Why Paris? Why did he go quietly? Was it for work? Was it personal? Theories began immediately. Some fans believed he had gone for a private schedule, perhaps a brand photo shoot, an exclusive fashion collaboration, or even preparation for a future global campaign. Others whispered about the possibility of a secret meeting in the world's fashion capital. A smaller but louder fraction of fans wondered whether he was there for rest, to escape the noise of the world, to breathe in a different city even for just a moment. But the biggest surprise wasn't just that he arrived in Korea. It was how he looked. Despite the layers of black fabric shielding most of his face, despite the hood eclipsing the crown of his head, despite the fact that he seemed to be deliberately avoiding attention, Jungkook radiated a presence that couldn't be hidden. His eyes, the only part visible, were sharp yet soft, intense yet tired, focused yet wandering, as if he was half present in the airport and half still in Paris. Those who saw him said he seemed thoughtful, almost reflective, like someone returning from a place that changed him in ways he wasn't ready to explain. But what happened in Paris? That was the golden question. And the entire world wanted answers. As he walked through the terminal, staff members subtly flanked him at a distance, forming an invisible pathway for him to pass through. It wasn't an official escort, but it was clear that even the workers at the airport understood the gravity of his presence. They didn't obstruct him. They didn't call out to him. They simply guided the flow of the crowd so he could move smoothly through the chaos sparked by his arrival. Every step he took seemed to attract more attention. He moved with purpose, but not haste. Calm, yet unreadable. He carried a backpack slung over one shoulder, nothing flashy, nothing extravagant, but enough to make fans wonder what was inside. Perhaps souvenirs from Paris? Sketches or notes from meetings? Personal items? Something secretive. Speculation was inevitable, and then came the moment that truly made ARMY lose their minds, the moment that would be replayed thousands of times. As he approached the escalator, he lifted his head slightly, allowing the lights of the terminal to illuminate a glimpse of his eyes. They sparkled, even if only for a split second. That single motion, that tiny reveal, sparked an explosion on social media unlike anything seen that day. Fans screamed. Comment sections flooded. Clips spread across fan accounts, news portals, and entertainment platforms at lightning speed. It was impossible to deny the truth. Even when he tried to hide, Jungkook shined brighter than anyone. But that wasn't all. A moment later, someone shouted his name softly, not loudly, not aggressively, but with a trembling sincerity that seemed to pierce through the noise of the airport. Jungkook, welcome back. He froze. Only for a second. Barely noticeable unless one replayed the video many times. But it was there, a pause, a subtle stillness in his step. Then he dipped his head, a small nod, almost like a bow, and continued walking. It was the most understated greeting. Yet it was enough. Fans broke down in tears. They flooded timelines with emotional reactions, calling the moment sweet, respectful, and heart-shattering. It wasn't just a celebrity returning home. It was a connection, fragile, but powerful, between a star and the people who love him most. Still, the big questions remained. Why was he in Paris? What had he been doing? What was he planning next? Clues began emerging from various fan accounts. Some claimed they had spotted someone who looked like Jungkook in the streets of Paris days earlier, wearing a cap and oversized coat, blending into the crowd. Others believed he was seen entering a building associated with fashion brands, though none of these sightings were confirmed. A handful of speculations suggested he attended a private event, possibly linked to a luxury house that had been rumored to approach him for a major collaboration. The mystery deepened when a French army posted that she had seen a man resembling Jungkook near the River Seine, walking alone with headphones on, looking contemplative as he gazed at the city lights. Whether this was truly him or not, fans devoured the story with enthusiasm, imagining him exploring Paris not just as a global icon, but as a person finding peace among foreign streets. But whatever he had done, work, rest, adventure, or something more, it clearly left an impact. Because the Jungkook who returned to Korea seemed changed. Not dramatically, not outwardly, but in the quietness of his eyes. As though he carried something from Paris back with him, a secret, a moment, a memory, a promise. As soon as he exited the terminal, slipping into the waiting black van that whisked him away, Army continued their investigation. Threads were created. Videos were slowed down, zoomed in, stabilized. People analyzed the brand of his jacket, the type of backpack he carried, the texture of his hoodie, the possible fatigue under his eyes. Every detail mattered, every detail told a story, and the world wanted the full story. News outlets quickly caught wind of the chaos. Articles began popping up within hours, reporting his return, speculating on his trip, praising his presence even in near invisibility. Headlines ranged from dramatic to inquisitive. Jungkook returns from Paris in secret. What was he doing there? Chaos at Incheon Airport as Jungkook arrives unannounced. The world's biggest star moves like a shadow, and fans still find him. But perhaps the most emotional reactions came from ARMY themselves. Their messages were filled with warmth, concern, and admiration. Is he eating well? Did Paris treat him kindly? I hope he's resting enough. He looks tired but beautiful. Whatever he did there, I'm proud of him. The conversations continued throughout the night, and by morning, the story of Jungkook's Paris to Incheon return had taken over global trending lists. Fan artists created illustrations. Fan writers crafted narratives. Video editors compiled every moment of the airport arrival into cinematic clips, and throughout it all, one emotion dominated the entire fandom: anticipation. Because Jungkook didn't just return, he returned with an aura of purpose. Something was coming. Something big. Something that Paris may have played a role in. Whether it was music, fashion, collaboration, or an entirely new chapter, fans could feel it. He had that look, the look he gets right before the world changes.